this world, so that the true utopia can be Judgment Day has arrived! To deliver us salvation, we must repent and rejoice, for the world has not yet come to an end!
That's a solid performance for an old fart like you.
What is up, everybody? It is RadTechShoe, and we are back with part 12 of Devil May Cry 4. And as you can see right there, it is time for a player change. We will now be playing as Dante, and all the items and ability and everything that we got when we were Nero will now transfer over to Dante. Look at all those proud souls that we have stocked up, over 20,000. So let's go ahead and spend them. So I'm going to purchase Stinger 1 and 2 for Rebellion. For guns, we start off with Ebony and Ivory and the shotgun. I'm just going to power up the charge shop for the Ebony and Ivory. We don't really need to worry about the shotgun for now. I'm going to buy the level 2 power up for all of my fighting styles. As you can see, they're all back: Trickster, Swordmaster, Gunslinger, and Royal Guard. I'll be showcasing them off in this mission. And for the most part, it looks like they've toned down certain ability. Well, they haven't really toned them down. We just haven't gotten access to every single one of their abilities yet, because we haven't maxed out the fighting styles. I'm getting pretty close to getting another blue orb. I've only got a few more to go before I buy all 6. I've gotten 4 out of 6. I've only got 2 more to purchase, but they're going to be quite expensive. Anyway, let's go ahead and start this mission. Okay, so right off the bat, we get to play around with Dante in the chamber room where we fought with Nero, and we get to play with some scarecrows. So Dante handles quite differently. He's more of a speed character and a combo character, which is excellent, which is what I prefer in my fighting styles, which is what I prefer in my Devil May Cry characters specifically. So right now we're using Trickster. There it is. Even though we just purchased level 2 Trickster, we don't have the ability to double dash or air dash. So it's unfortunate. Here's the shotgun. You know, just like what you would expect from any shotgun, it knocks away all the weaker enemies. Gunslinger with a shotgun is pretty cool. Dante twirls the shotgun around him, and he blasts buckshot in all directions. Alright, so here's Royal Guard. I'm just going to stand here, wait for one of them to attack me. And as you can see, even though I took the damage and I got hit, my combo didn't go down, because Royal Guard allows me to do that. Right there, I used the built-up energy I had on the ending from Royal Guard. I used it to kill the last Scarecrow. And there's Gunslinger. And we're actually going to use Gunslinger to get a Blue Orb Fragment in this mission. Later, when I went through here, there was a Blue Orb Fragment I did not know about. But I saw it during one of my test playthroughs of this mission right here. And I'm like, wait a second, how did I miss that? So we're going to make sure to get this. But let's go meet a brand new enemy. Head out into the main area here and we'll be introduced to him with a fun little cutscene. Alright, don't let these scarecrows intimidate you, or their size may be a little, you know, they could be a little intimidating. They're pretty big pushovers. They like to just stand around like other scarecrows and they'll let you rack up combos. The good thing is, a majority of the time, if they're not on screen, they won't attack you. Like, I'm not joking. When they do die though, watch out for the spike on top of their head. It'll fly up in the air, and it'll actually fall down to the ground, and it won't disappear until after it's already landed in the ground. So even after they're dead, you can still take damage from one of them. So just watch out for that. Dodge their attacks. They're, like I said, they're big, but they're still scarecrows. And they're just big pushovers. That's all they are. You know, if they rough you up a little bit during your first encounter, I don't blame you. They are a little different. But as you can see, I'm just playing around with this guy. But when this guy dies, make sure to jump away, because you do not want that to hit you. All right, so let's head out the door. Now over here is the winged talisman that Nero used to get up here. Dante is now going to acquire it. And in doing so, he rides the elevator down, and right there is the Blue Orb Fragment. I totally missed that on my way up here with Nero. So we're going to use Gunslinger. Now, just a straight double jump, you can't get high enough, even when using Gunslinger. However, you jump, use Gunslinger, and then air hike, and bam, all up here, no problem. Now we just got to double jump up. There we go. So Gunslinger actually gives us a little bit of elevation that we need to get up to each level. And as you can tell right here, God's power is no longer powering this place. So we have 10 minutes to get out before the whole thing collapses, which is more than enough time. We can even make a few detours. So, go ahead and stinger jump off here. Aim to the right if you can. Grab a gold orb. Alright, now let's run on over here. Attack the wheel to call the elevator so we can get back up and continue on. Alright, but as with any elevator ride, it's going to have some occupants we're going to have to contest with. And what are we fighting with here? Some frosts. So here, I'm going to showcase off his double trigger. Stinger attack when he's in double trigger is just so vicious. They just don't stand a chance, because it hits them multiple times. The shotgun also does good work on these guys. And right there, I didn't break the shell of one quick enough. But as you can see, the shotgun does good. If you're not in Devil Trigger, you can use the shotgun to knock them down, to keep them down. Have a little gunslinger fun while I'm at it. But now that they're dead, like I said, Dante's fighting styles actually are a good replacement for Nero's Devil Arm, his Devil Bringer. You're gonna see me use certain fighting styles to deal with enemies that Nero would have had to use his Devil Arm to defeat. Now let's head out here. So there's the key of Cronus that Nero used. Now we get to fight some Mephisto. And we're going to equip Gunslinger. And as you can tell, Dante's Gunslinger will actually do a good job of getting rid of their cloak. So you can tell that one's cloak is already gone. And this one's already gone because I did some twosome time and wailed on both of them at the same time. Dodge their lasers. Like I said, his regular guns don't use square. Instead, use circle. Don't just have Gunslinger equipped. Use his Gunslinger abilities, and it'll just dwindle their cloak like nothing. You can even attack the laser like I did. Bam, look at that. 2 Mephisto down already. And the third one's already lost his cloak. $1 million stabs is just so fun. And with that, all 3 Mephisto are dead. So, Gunslinger on Mephistos and Faust. Remember that. Well, I haven't tested, I don't know. We haven't fought a Faust yet, so I'm not exactly sure. But how much different from a Mephisto can they be? Anyway, once we grab the key of Cronus, the blades stop spinning completely. Not sure why, but they do. Anyway, let's hop on up. And now we're going to actually head through... Well, we're not going to head through the gauntlet. We got some lasers to deal with. But luckily we have the key of Cronus now. So you're going to double jump over most of these. The ones right there where you can jump through the middle, it's so precise, I just don't bother with it. I prefer to use air hike. And right there, the lasers pulled a dick move on me. But it's whatever. Alright, smash everything we can. Alright, so out here is, we're going to the room where the lasers were running along the floor. And we're going to encounter some Bianco Angelos. 3, as a matter of fact. And once we defeat a couple, some more will pop in along with an Alto Angelo. Here's another good example of or a good location where Dante's Devil Trigger will make short work of these guys. However, you don't need to worry about the Devil Trigger on the Bianco Angelos. It's the Alto Angelo, because you want to defeat the Alto Angelo before he does all his stupid formations and crap. So right there. Right now I'm just targeting the Alto Angelo. I don't care about the others. I'm out of Devil Trigger already. Dodge their energy attacks. So here they come again. Right there, I tried to dodge, but I couldn't do it. Finally, the Alto Angelo is dead. God. And now the last of the Biancos are dead, so let's go ahead and exit this place. But before we do, we're actually going to go through the gauntlet. We have another blue orb fragment we need to get. So here's the laser room, where lasers are on both sides, and we have to use the key of Cronus to proceed. But in here, we're actually going to bypass all the enemies. There's no point in fighting the Gladius here. Literally, there's no point. Go on up. And in here, go all the way around, and let's go get that combat adjudicator that we bypassed a long time ago because we couldn't get it. This one's a pretty simple adjudicator. All we have to do is just get a B. It does take a while considering the fact that Dante only has one weapon. There we go. Later on, Dante will get more weapons. And the good thing is, unlike the combat adjudicator, I mentioned this earlier, the combat adjudicators are character specific, not weapon specific. So we'll be able to switch up weapons with Dante in order to get the tougher combat adjudicators. We can switch between weapons and it won't affect the combat adjudicator at all. Anyway, let's go ahead, head through the lasers again, and let's exit this area and trigger a small cutscene as we leave. Just make sure to grab all the red orbs you can before you go. Alright, instead of ending the mission right there, they're going to make us go a little further along the bridge and actually enter the forest itself. But before we actually get there, we got more red orbs to gather here. And this is another good example of Dante's speed. You know, the speed ability that we bought from Nero and Dante. It's going to come in useful here. So just sprint on out, head into the forest. This is where we fought Credo as Nero. So, head all the way down, out into the forest, and we'll trigger a cutscene that'll show why Dante is here in the first place.
You ordered the sword, huh?
Yes. Are you familiar with them?
Sorry, religion and I don't mix.
It's a small congregation that gathers in the castle town of Fortuna. I guess the only people who would have heard of it are the ones who take interest in this type of thing.
Like you.
Exactly. So just how much do you know about Sparta?
Well, from what I can figure, there's a lot of confusion surrounding them.
The story goes that Sparta served as the feudal lord of the city long ago. The people who live there today take these legends as truth and worship him. Just like a god.
They worship a demon as a god?
Peaceful worship can't be condemned. But the real problem is the order. Lately they've been running amok, catching demons, and have even butted in on some of my jobs.
Maybe they're starting a zoo.
Not just demons. They've also been targeting devil arms. Like the ones you have.
Okay, then, a museum. So what?
Well, what if their intentions are foul? And there's a diabolical plan behind these apparently random acts?
Well then, I'd have something to keep me occupied, and... Trish! Things always gotta be complicated.
And that is the end of Mission 12. Okay, so pretty decent stats all across the board. Not bad. But like I said, now we're playing as the glorious, badass Dante. And it feels good. If Nero was a nice, refreshing break, but now it's time to get back to the essentials. Get back to why we love the Devil May Cry series so much. It's because of Dante. So, we're just going to go ahead, save our game, overwrite a data, And we're going to go back, as you obviously could tell, we're going to go back through all the areas that Nero's already done. We're pretty much backtracking, going backwards, and we're going to encounter some faces. The bosses that Nero beat but didn't kill, well, we got to settle the score with them. And I will see you all in the next mission. This is RadTech Shu, signing off.